One of the scenarios that's definitely up there in the most difficult scenario is when the hurt spouse wants the marriage more than the unfaithful. The hurt spouse is really trying to just feel safe, and they feel vulnerable, they feel betrayed, and it's very common that the hurt spouse, the betrayed, wants to save the marriage more than the unfaithful does, or at the very least give it a shot at restoration more than the unfaithful spouse does. And so the betrayed spouse is trying to find this new sense of security in the unfaithful spouses, angry or bitter or in the affair. And so there's this kind of colossal, what do you do? So I want to give you 3 things that I think will really help you if you're in this situation. Number 1, to try and pursue healing. And it's very critical that you understand it's not about pursuing restoration, because the unfaithful spouse is so ambivalent, they're not even sure if they want to save the marriage. So the first thing is the unfaithful spouse is going to have to take a break from the affair partner. Notice I didn't say end the affair. I said take a break, because you can't give healing to your marriage a fair shot when you're still entangled in the affair. If you're going to give the marriage a fair shot, or if you're going to give healing an opportunity, you're going to have to at least take somewhere between a 30 and 90-day break from the affair partner to give the marriage a chance to just pursue healing. Number 2 is you're going to have to really get rid of all of the underlying resentment and the anger and the bitterness that both of you are probably feeling. So number 1 is take a break from the affair part. Number 2 is you're going to have to commit to healing, not restoration and not saving the marriage, but commit to healing. And that means commit to the healing of resentment and bitterness, probably in the unfaithful spouse. That means probably committing to healing the trauma and the hurt and the devastation and the feeling of the rug being ripped out from underneath the betrayed spouse. So you have to commit to do recovery work. Does that mean the marriage is salvageable? I don't really know. And at some level, you don't really know. You have to give it time to pursue the healing of the wounds, the betrayal, the resentment, the underlying resentment, the anger, the rage, the unmet needs. All of that is going to have to be cared for before you can give the marriage a shot at restoration. In fact, it's really the process by which you see if the marriage can be saved. Number 3, once you've taken a break from the affair partner, once you've committed to do work towards removing the resentment, because remember, resentment is an intimacy killer. It will completely undermine the marriage, intimacy, emotionally, physical intimacy, all of that goes out the door. But number 3, now that you've experienced some healing, there's this kind of point of neutrality. Your commitment is to commit to do no more harm. And it's not necessarily a commitment to restoration, it's a commitment to healing and then seeing what's possible. Now, it's at this point that I'll tell you many times, desire comes like a freight train, both in the betrayed as well as in the unfaithful. But you have to do the process. That's why it's so important that you get expert help. That's why it's so important that you get experienced help that has actually been through infidelity. Because if you'll do these 3 steps, I'm pretty confident, as is Rick and our team, that at the end of these 3 steps, you've given yourself a wonderful opportunity at restoration. And when you get to this point of neutrality, and then you enjoy friendship, and then you enjoy true camaraderie, you enjoy a sense of resurrection, maybe even to just the friendship of the marriage, it's then that I think you'll experience desire coming back pretty strongly. So I hope that helps you, especially when the betrayed spouse maybe is more committed to restoration than the unfaithful spouse is.